This is what I consider the greatest lifestyle you can have. You know, you get paid to go travel the world and do something you love to do. So, man, the rodeo's where it's at for me. You know, the phone call that you get to work the NFR, it's, man, some people might say, does it, or they always ask, does it get old? And I tell them no, man, I'm just so grateful, blessed and humbled and overwhelmed to get it once, let alone any more than that. But the first one, I mean, all of them have some type of different emotion. But the first one was pretty big. Like I said, you know, I can remember growing up as a kid, we didn't have DVR or anything like that. So you had to literally try to stay up on school nights to watch the NFR. And it just seemed like a different world to me. You know, coming from a small town in Wyoming, I was born and raised in Idaho, but grew up in Wyoming. You know, it was just something that it wasn't like it was impossible, but it was like, you know, could it be? Could it ever be? And, you know, it's pretty crazy to think that, you know, 2009 was the first year, but I can remember it was like it was yesterday. We were in Belleville, Texas, and working for Mo Better Rodeo Company down there, and about we've been about the second full week in October, and the phone rang and it was 719, and when 719 numbers call you in October, you know, your heart kind of heart rate elevates a little bit. And like I said, it's a phone call you've dreamed of always getting, and to get it at least once is just pretty special. And you get to be one of three that get that phone call, and man, I'm grateful and thankful for it. Got to give a little credit to Dad, a lot of it, because like I said, you know, I was going with him to rodeos as a kid, and that was really, I think, what sparked the interest or the plan that God had for me originally. But guys like Rob Smith, Miles Hare, Rex Dunn, those are really three that come to my mind. You know, and back then, you know, there really wasn't no YouTube or anything like that where you could watch videos or have these, you know, social media encounters with a lot of these big names in the sport. And so you just, like I said, those are the three guys that I could really remember that really impacted the sport. All of them were world champions and worked the NFR. Just really helped define the sport of bullfighting, and that's, you know, and I feel that the sport has evolved and changed a lot to this day, but without those guys before us, we could never be where we're at today. So yeah, I looked up those guys. I still do. You know, I get to see Miles in Houston, I get to see Miles in Vegas and Smiths from time to time, and before Rex passed, you know, I got to spend a lot of time with him. So I cherish those moments, and there's not a day that when I don't run into them, I want to hear their thoughts and opinions on, you know, what am I doing, how am I doing a good job, or can I get better? And there's obviously a lot more guys that I look up to, and, you know, even guys that I'm in the arena with now, you know, getting to work with Webb and Harp and Nate, I think are some of the very best in the world at what they do. And, you know, when we get to go from January 1 to, you know, the end of the year, and the majority of the perfs that I'm with are with one of them three, if not at least two of them, that's pretty awesome, and we have a lot of fun when we do it, and I think we show that pretty well when we're in the arena together, and that'll never change. I grew up in the rodeo world. I think that was truly what intrigued me and drew me to the sport of rodeo. My dad fought bulls and was a rodeo clown. My mom was involved in rodeo, and I'm a firm believer in, you know, we all have a calling for our life, and I truly feel this is where God's called me to be. Just different things that I've went through in my life at a young age, even into my older years, but it's always kind of kept circling me back to the sport of rodeo. And I was big into sports, football, basketball. I wrestled, I ran track, and so, but rodeo was always a part of it in some way, somehow, some form. It always showed back up. When you're approaching your craft as a bullfighter, it's a lot of similar to a lot of other sporting events. I mean, we watch film, we, you know, go to practice pins, we work on the fundamentals, you know, work on our ground game, but, you know, reflecting on the film watching, it's not necessarily we watch it to try to figure out what the bull's going to do, because he's going to do whatever he wants when he wants and how he wants to do it. So it's about just, I guess, getting a mental memory, muscle memory, being alert for different things, and just it's a reaction game, anticipating where that cowboy's going to land or that bull's going to do, and just putting yourself in the best position possible to be there for that bull rider and help that bull rider get in and out, as well as that bull leave the arena in a good fashion. So that film session goes a long ways. So you slow things down, you watch the good, the bad, what you want to get better, or, you know, watching it back of what you felt like you saw, to what actually happened. And that's just being a student of the game, being coachable and wanting to be better, consistently pursuing excellence. And for me, I think, you know, I can learn something every day that I step in the arena with them bulls. And, you know, I want to keep a mindset like that. I want to be able to be coachable, and I don't want to think I've got it all figured out, because, you know, I think that's when you plateau, and I want to continue to climb. There's an old saying, it's not if you get hurt, it's when and how bad.
Here we go. We got one down, baby. Oh. Get rolling, keep crawling. I know he can't breathe.
Yeah, that could be a broken leg right there as he gets stepped on. That could be pretty serious down that line with Dusty Tuckness.
You know, you play it long enough, you're going to. And for me, going back to my faith and my walk with God, you know, without that, it would be really, really hard. Not that it's not hard anyways to come back over the peaks and valleys or the adversity and the challenges in life, but I think you find more comfort through it. And for me, it's the process. The prize is the process for me. Everybody wants the gold buckle. Everybody wants to be at the finals at the end of the year, and but nobody wants to think about or participate in the process. And I think that's where you truly find out if you're worth the prize at the end, what you're willing to go through and put yourself through. And I've always said the challenges and the hardships and the adversity that I've been through, you know, it's not always about me in those moments in life. But if it could change the trajectory of just one person's life, it was all worth it. And I think that's, you know, a great reflection off rodeo. It's such a camaraderie sport. It's second to none, and everybody wants to see people be successful. When a guy gets down, we're there to support him and try to get him back going again, to, you know, put food on the table and feed their family. And, you know, I think that's just, you can't just take the good in life. You gotta kind of find the joy in the valley as you walk through it, because then you appreciate the top so much more.